guys, it's Danielle here from Evelyn and Sage Avenue. I'm back today with a design team project for Ruby&Pearlxo's Ruby Tuesday. Although this isn't a journal today, this is a little bit of an homage to my very first design team projects for Ruby&Pearlxo. Heather asked me to do a guest spot before I was a permanent member. This is a little nod to that journal I made. Some of you guys might remember I named it The Tailor. So this is in a sewing theme, just like my tailor journal. And I've used a lot of digitals from the same kits as well, mainly being the Dressmaker, which is what this gorgeous print is at the front, and Vintage Romance here, which I just thought had complementary colours. This is a sewing folio, so it's just a place to store your sewing items, so your scissors, pins, buttons, etc. So this will be a relatively short video today, but hopefully it's impactful because I just think all the digitals in here are really pretty. But once we get inside this, it's pretty simple. It is a simple setup, but I think still looks really gorgeous. So before we take a look inside, I've just included some what I'm going to call button cards in this instance. You'll see mine inside, but I've left these ones blank. There are two, just because it's quite bulky inside, so I've left the ones at the front blank, just so the end user can see what they like with them. These are two of my favourite images from the Dressmaker kit, these and this print here. And what Heather included is the back to these images as well, so you can footy cut them out and adhere the backs to these. And there's a snippet of a vintage Stinger tape, which I thought was just really pretty. This is just a snippet of the one I've got to my side here. So let's open her up. Unfortunately, I can't get her all on screen because she is quite large, but hopefully you can get a good idea of what I've created. I'm just going to work from right to left. So here I've sewn, I created these myself. These are a pin cushion and a scissor holder. So as you can see, this is where your embroidery scissors can sit. I created these from antique cotton, and I thought the colours were complementary with the prints on the front from the Dressmaker's kit. And the pin cushion was one of my favourite elements. It was really easy to make. I just cut out a piece of card, I got some cushion filling, then all I did was wrap the fabric around and glue it around the edges. So this is meant to be your pin cushion, but I've just pinned on some vintage labels and some buttons, a rose charm, and this gorgeous vintage sequin. This is so delicate and lightweight, it's really lovely to hold. Some more trim, and you can see how versatile these are. You can see the button card here and the little trim holder. So you can see here I've adhered these buttons to the card that you saw on the front. These ones aren't sewn on. I just used double-sided sponge tape, hopefully you can see there, just so the end user can use them or maybe swap them out for something else. But I didn't want to attach them permanently, just so they can be of use. So I've also included some needles. These were in a vintage sewing box that I recently purchased. This image here I actually used on the front cover of the tailor journal that I created, so it was only right that I used it again for this project. So here's some more trim. This is just a little bit of sari silk. I must remember to scan this in before I send this off to its forever home, because I just thought this is a really lovely colour. It's not actually showing up too true on camera, but it's a really lovely pink. So just some more needles in there and some more trim. This is a piece of the antique cotton that I used to create the pin cushion. So they're just adhered with Tim Holtz mini attacher, so it'd be really easy to take those pins out and use these pieces of fabric if you wanted to. So that's it guys, for the most part. I will show you a view of it without all of the dressing inside, just so you can appreciate the gorgeous digitals that I've used. I have only used a couple of kits, so you've got the monogram kit up here. This is from the Fancy Ledger. This is from the Dressmaker kit. This is from Vintage Romance. And I believe that is it. And I'll just give you a view of the back because I've included another sample card. So there, that's just some upholstery fabric, and that's not really showing up too true, but this is a really dulled teal colour, and I think it was really complementary with the velvet that I've used to bind. And just some more sorry trim, and again they're just attached with a Tim Holtz mini attacher, so you could take those off to use if you wanted to. But that's just a view of the digital on the back. So just some tips when you're printing out this digital, obviously because it's a heavy black, so depending on your printer, I've tested it on both of mine and both had similar obstacles. So when you're using this much heavy black, obviously it doesn't all soak in, so it will continue to rub off on your fingers even when it's dry, I found anyway. So a tip for using this digital, or any digital that's got a lot of black pigment in it, so once you've printed them out, let them dry and then use some hairspray, just one layer is fine at distance, so you don't want to soak the paper. So you just hold your can at a little bit of a distance just to get a film over the paper, and once that's dried that should seal the ink in, so you can see there's no black ink coming off at this stage. I have used a hairspray to set this image. So just a quick look at the base without all the trimmings inside, and just how pretty is that. So all this is created from is a baseboard from the paper pads. You get them on more or less any paper pad you buy, whether it be a cheap paper pad or a watercolour pad. The backends are generally the same, and the same for these ones too, so that's just one cut in half. And these are quite deep pockets because I've left a lip inside, so you can get a lot in there without stretching the pocket too much. And the same with these two, that's quite a forgiving pocket. So I hope you've enjoyed that, guys, and found some inspiration. Well, it was really easy to put together. It was more of the decision making that slowed me down, but really this is quite a simple make and it's not complicated to bind. I've just used 4 pieces of velvet, just as you would for an open spine journal. It just hasn't got the signature inside, but you could quite easily make one half of this a journal and then the other half a folio. It doesn't have to be sewing themed. You could make pockets as I have here and just use it for general supplies. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this today, and this will be available in my Etsy shop at the time of this video, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week. Take care. Bye bye.